I'd like to ask you as well about Israel's war in Gaza. As you know, Israel showed what they said was evidence that Al-Shifa Hospital was and is a Hamas command center. They released these produced videos that show guns and ammunition and a laptop that they said they found inside. Human Rights Watch says the Israeli evidence so far is what they call insufficient to show that it was a command center, to revoke Shifa's protection. So there is a lot of skepticism around this raid. Why not share more evidence of what you have seen that convinces you this was a command center?
Well, two things. First, if someone can explain why there are assault rifles next to MRI machines, that would be good to know.
But is that your definition of a command center, the presence of weapons?
No, but second, with regard to command centers, we ourselves have information that that's exactly what Hamas is doing, and this is an ongoing operation. And I fully expect that as the operation is completed, Israel will show more evidence of what Hamas was doing in these hospitals or under these hospitals, because that's where the tunnels are. What we know across the board is that Hamas embeds itself in civilian infrastructure, in and under apartment buildings, in and under hospitals, in and under schools, and it uses people as human shields. There's been a horrific loss of life in Gaza, and we have to ask ourselves what we would have done in the same situation. Imagine if terrorists had come across our border on October 7th, slaughtered proportionally 40,000 Americans, and then retreated and were hiding themselves among civilians in all of the civilian infrastructure. What would we have done? At the same time, Israel has an absolute obligation to do everything possible to avoid harming civilians. And as you know, they've opened up corridors so that people could get out of harm's way. Mm-hmm. More than 1 million people have left Gaza City. They put in place some limited pauses to facilitate that. They brought in assistance to the hospitals themselves. But they must do even more, and this is something that we're on constantly.
To your point, your point on the loss of life, the U.S. equivalent of the Gazan loss of life would be over 1.5 million people, and as you have noted, watching that death toll rise, if you said watching children pulled from the rubble, that guts you every time. Americans are increasingly feeling that way too. I just want to put to you